Even the weather in Toledo was oppressive. The spring and the fall were beautiful, but the winters were cold and godless and unrelenting, and the heat and humidity of summer left you in a half-drunken stupor. Whenever the TV was on in our house, which it almost always was, it was covered with images of death and destruction. The Vietnam War, the Son of Sam, the Hillside Strangler, Jim Jones' suicide cult, etc. Then there was religion. I couldn't have been more confused about the topic. My mother's best friend Basha was also from Poland. We would go to her house on Fridays for Shabbat dinner. During the holidays, we would light the menorah and celebrate Hanukkah. It was well understood that anything we did at Basha's house was never to be discussed at home. I kept my mouth shut, but one time my dad showed up there and dragged my mother out by her hair. That was the end of our Jewish traditions. My father was a Muslim, and from time to time he would have other Muslims over as guests. They would go nuts with washing their hands and their faces, then kneel down on these special rugs on the floor and say all kinds of stuff in Arabic over and over again. Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar. When it came to schooling, there was no way my father was going to have any son of his go to public school. That was for poor people, and he was a very proud man. The only problem was that all of the private schools were Catholic. And not just Catholic, but Jesuit Catholic. Catholicism only brought about more alienation and shame. I didn't understand it. All of these creepy priests and angry nuns with their funny outfits. So much pageantry, so much pomp and circumstance. That stinky frankincense, eating the body and blood of Jesus Christ. It just didn't seem right. I actually really loved the idea of Jesus and very much enjoyed hearing about his teachings. Sometimes I would even pray to him. But the exposure to all these new rituals left me more confused than ever. One thing is for sure, it solidified my belief that I was different and I didn't belong. Sitting, then standing, then kneeling and making the sign of the cross had my head spinning with doubt and self-hatred. The pressure was building and something was bound to break. It happened a few months into first grade at St. Pat's. My teacher was a former nun, very strict and composed, and she was giving us a talking to about the new Christmas tree at the front of the room. It was a beautiful tree, decorated with glass bulbs and handmade ornaments. "No one is to touch or go near the tree," she said, scanning the room to make sure everyone understood. Each one of those ornaments, her voice faded out as I stood up and began walking towards the tree. I could feel every eye in the room on me, and it felt like I was even watching myself as I stopped right in front of the tree and, with one quick shove, knocked the entire thing over.